Hey guys, hope you're having a great day. So I have a fun project for you today at my grandparents' house. And if you've been following my videos, this area will probably look a little familiar to you because this is where these quickfire hydrangeas are. So they're planted on the side right over here, and I'm going to be working right in this area on their little back porch. So what I'm going to be working on today are these patio containers. I don't know if that's the best thing to call them. I can't think of any other names that come to mind. But if I show you kind of what they look like from the side over here, you can see that they just kind of sit on the board over here. We put these here like maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I'd say. They have a pretty good reservoir, better than the ones that I have at my house. And then underneath, we just have these little zip ties, like they're thick zip ties, and they just clip on to the back over here. Oops, so you can see just how they're sitting. So these are pretty firm in place, like they're not going anywhere. So as you can see in these containers, there are geraniums and peppermint. So a couple of years ago, we planted the peppermint in here to help deter certain animals. I think she read something on that, and it actually did help. But anyways, you can see that the peppermint, it has really overgrown this space, and you can see it doesn't look the healthiest, and it's just because it doesn't get watered all the time, but it is in a pretty shady location over here. You can see the geraniums are doing pretty well, and the geraniums are in their own individual pots. The peppermint is just going to come back every year, but also the look of it isn't the absolute best, and we need a change in this area. So what we're going to be putting inside of the containers instead of the peppermint is going to be this ivy. So I saw this at the garden center that I was working at. It's called glacier ivy, heterohelix. And if I show you the tag over here, you can see that they get about 8 inches tall, spaced 6 to 12 inches apart. That's if you want them to be really thick. These might not be super close together, but that's all right. And it does say hardiness 5 through 10. I just want to touch on that quickly. So we live in a zone 6, kind of like a 6B, so kind of on the warmer side. The average temperature gets around maybe close to like 0, I would say, every year. However, I do want to mention that even though these are a zone 5, we are putting them in containers. And you really want to find stuff that's rated for 2 zones colder than what your actual growing zone is. So it would be better off to plant something that is like a zone 4 for our area. Now, there really isn't much ivy that, at least I'm aware of, that can get any colder than a zone 5. In fact, a lot of ivy can't even tolerate a zone 5 unless it's like the crazy perennial ivy that like really overtakes an area. Whereas this ivy won't get as crazy, and it's more of kind of like the look that she's looking for. You can kind of see like the look of it. It's a nice like variegated color, which I really, really like. But it'll be definitely a nice cleaner look in this bed, but there is a chance that if we have a really cold winter, it may not make it. So it'll be kind of an experiment, we'll see. However, I do think that because we're right on the side of the house, I think it's going to be a little bit more protected in the winter time than other areas. You can kind of see like even in the summertime, even though these don't get watered that much, they still look okay. So they are more protected. So we'll see what happens with them, but it's kind of just an experiment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut back the peppermint, and we're actually going to save it in bundles to use. So we'll just leave it there for now. And then what I'll do is I'll take out the geraniums. We'll clean those up for any blooms, just because you do have to deadhead them, and they look pretty good right now. But just to clean them up and make sure that they're good, I'm going to give them some water. If we have fertilizer here, then I'll give them some fertilizer too to carry them through for the rest of the season. Those two I'm going to leave just like that. We're not going to put any ivy in that container, but those ones are looking pretty good. And then what I'm going to do is, because these plants have been in here for so long, this is literally like just roots. I don't know how easily you can see it, but like there's barely any soil. It's actually really hard to move my finger around in the soil. So we're gonna clean all of that out. I'm gonna put it some Miracle-Gro, and we're gonna do the moisture control potting mix in hopes that it'll help, so that way they don't dry out super fast and it can hold on to the water a little bit longer. And then we'll put the geraniums back kind of in the same spot that they're in. Put back all the other things, like she has some other solar lights and other decorations, which hopefully you'll be able to see a little bit better now. And it'll just give this whole area a nice clean look. All right, so now that I've got all the explanation out of the way, let's get started. Alright, so this is all set for now. So I think it turned out pretty well. And if I show you the bottom too, you can see that pot still looks the same, but still looks really good. So I know that you're probably thinking it looks a little empty right now. It's gonna stay like this for the rest of the season, unless she puts like some fall stuff in, which I'm sure she'll probably do. But I think next year we'll probably put more annuals besides just the geraniums in, and the ivy will help fill in. But I'd rather the ivy grow down this way and be on the front side of it, and then we could plant something behind it that'll get a little bit taller. So there's 6 plants, there's 2 per each pot, and I just put them at the ends of each pot. But I think that they're gonna fill this space out really nicely. Alright, so I figured I would just show you guys this. It's a little bit different than what I've been doing. Oh, I guess I have some dirt on me. But yeah, so I hope you liked it. If you want to go ahead and do me a favor, hit the like button if you do like this type of video, just so that way I can get some idea for like what other stuff I could do that's similar to this, if you guys like this, or if not, then I'll do other stuff. But yeah, anyways, I do hope you guys like this video. I will at some point show you an update on this. It may not be until like next season or something, but just to see if the ivy has made it through the winter and how that's doing. But yeah, so besides that, that's all I have for you today, and I'll see you guys in the next video.